Hey guys, 219 Tiger here. I hope everybody is doing well. And today's video is going to be about grief. And I know it's not talked about a lot. Um, a lot of times there's a lot where dealing with grief, my fiance lost her child. This was before I met her. His name is Ashton. And it's hard. It's taken a toll on her, emotionally, mentally, and that grief is a very strong emotion. And it hurts. It is really painful. And it's a pain that you carry with every day. Does it subside? Yes. But that's something you carry with the rest of your life. And some people can grieve in short amount of time and then be okay. And there's other times where grief lasts a lifetime. And you know what the saying is? No parent should ever have to bury a child. And I know a lot of the misconception, or a lot of the viewpoints of it is, well, why don't you just get over it? Don't think about it. And it's not simply that easy. There is no time limit on grieving. And I still grieve people to this day. Like, there are people I still grieve for. There are certain anniversaries or certain dates that pop up that, yes, I am completely down on that day. And losing a child is probably one of the worst things. You know, and like I've told my fiance, because I'm not a female. I've never carried a child for 9 months in her womb. But that is one of the most powerful things, to lose a child. And it hurts. It's not something you just get over. And it's not something you get over in a year. It's not something you get over in 2 years. It can last a lifetime. I mean, there are people who have lost their children in Columbine, which has been now 24 years since Columbine happened. And some of them are still grieving their friends. They're still grieving the loss of their children that have died in Columbine. And that's been over 24 years. And holidays are especially hard. You know, like with the loss of my grandparents. You know what I mean? And one of my aunts. Christmas has never been the same since their loss. It changes things completely. So yes, holidays are tough, especially when you've lost somebody close to you. Whether it be a wife, a sister, a brother, a cousin, aunt, auntie, mom, dad, whoever. It's hard. And like I said, some people deal with grief in different ways. There are some people that can grieve, stand up and be okay. And there's some people that they seem like they're okay, but they're really not. It's a facade. It's a fake facade. And especially with the depression that comes along with that. And you know, it's hard. It could sink you into a very deep, dark place and deep, dark depression. And I know after I lost somebody close to me, it made my depression even worse. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was completely shut down. And I know about a couple years ago I had posted Anna Caden saved my life. And that was because of the sunflowers that I met and to strive to create a YouTube channel because I wanted to help people. Because I didn't want people to feel the way I felt. I didn't want people to feel alone. And, you know, there are some days that are harder than others. Now, tomorrow we're coming, you know, the 28th is always hard for my fiance. The 22nd and the 28th are always hard because Ashton was born, Ashton was born August 28th, 2021, and died in September 22nd, 2021. And, you know, the dates affect her, you know, and the fact that she misses him, and that's the piece of you that's missing, you know. There's always that, I wonder what it would be like now. There's always, you know, just, you know, why did this happen? How did this happen? You know, you know, it's never easy. Could I have done things differently? There's a lot of stages with grief. And it is sometimes really hard to accept death. Like, you know, and we all grieve. It's just some grieve better than others. But I think a lot of it is being patient, especially with mothers who've lost their children. Okay? Because you can't sit there and say, oh, I understand. I lost such and such. No mother should have to bury their child. Period. And it is not something that is easy to cope with and deal with. And, you know, it's hard when you get to missing your child. And it's hard where, you know, you have all that ton of grief on you and that constant pain that sometimes does not go away. And for some people, it'll never go away. It'll lessen as it goes on, but it's always going to be there. And the only thing you can really honestly do is carry on with your life, even though it is really, really hard. And, you know, grieving is very painful. And so to sit there and tell people, get over it. One doesn't simply just get over something. You just don't get over a death. Okay? And anybody that tells you that is ignorant. You don't just get over it. There is no timetable on grief. And like I've told my fiance, grieve as long as you need to make yourself feel better, not others. Because you know what I mean? Because you have to make yourself feel better. You know, should you carry on? Yes. At some extent, you have to not so much forget, but you do have to carry on. Doesn't mean get over it. There's a difference. Doesn't mean get over it, because that is ignorant. You don't get over it. But it's move at your own pace, but carry on. And if you have to stop and take a break and grieve, then stop and take that break, grieve. Do you feel better? Pick yourself back up and carry on. And take that time. It's a pattern. But to tell somebody, especially a grieving mother, and I've seen a lot of that, and I've heard a lot of that, get over it. Unless you have carried a child in your womb and lost that child, you have no room to talk or say anything. Because it is difficult and it is hard. Do I understand what she's going through? To some extent. But do I fully understand it? No, and I never will, because I'm not a mother that lost her child. So it is painful. And it is okay not to be okay, because nobody expects you to be okay every day. You are allowed to have that moment of break, because you don't always have to be strong. And that's something we need to learn. Because right now in the world, there is a lot of disconnect and a lot of division. Sadly. And I promised myself I would not talk about politics on this channel, because Lord knows I got a lot to say about it. And I'm disgusted by certain things. That makes me sick to my stomach, and dark times. But a lot of it is being patient and understanding that just be there for that person. Be that comfort that person needs. Stop telling them get over it, because that's not something you just get over. And I will repeat this again, so the people in the back can hear me. Okay? Unless you've lost a child, unless you are a mother who has carried a child and lost that child, you have no right to say anything. Period. Period. Because if you lost your mom, or you lost your dad, or you lost your sister, or brother, or somebody close to you, best friend, whoever, if somebody came up to you and told you, well, you need to get over it, you'd be hurt. And you'd be pissed. Now, imagine a mother that's just had to bury her child. And like I said, no parent should have to bury their child. That's not how it's supposed to work. The children are supposed to bury the parents, not the other way around. So, if you're dealing with somebody that's grieving, be a little more sympathetic and a little more patient. And because they need a little more care. And yes, grieving does take time. There is no set time. And that's learning that. There is no set time. And it's okay to grieve till you feel better. And with this, I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next video. Check out my gaming channel, 219 Tiger Gaming. I've been posting on there. But I will see you guys next video. Stay strong. Stay lucid. And remember, love is louder. And please be kind to one another. Especially in this day and age. I love you guys, and I'll see you next video. Mwah. Love you guys.